Hello and welcome to my channel. And my channel covers productivity and proactiveness for students. And today on the show, we've got a Evernote expert, Jason Frasca. And what he's going to be doing, he's going to be answering some questions for us based on Evernote and how to use it in your kind of lifestyle, your kind of student situation. So I'm going to pass over the first question to Jason, and it's, how did you discover Evernote?
Francesco, thanks a lot for having me on first. Yeah, I discovered Evernote. I've always been into productivity tools. I think at the time when Evernote came out, I was using VoodooPad, a great wiki. And when I first came across Evernote, I opened it up, and like most people, I took a look at it. It looked like a blank slate to me, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, and I quickly abandoned it and went back to VoodooPad.
Yeah.
And then a bit later on, I believe Evernote came out with the web clipper, and it solved a great need for me with my internet research. I always did some deep dives in internet research and had a ton of tabs open in my browser, which ultimately crashed my browser. And the web clipper solved that. I was able to save my browser windows, but with context, and put it into Evernote with some notes, some tags to be able to go back to what I was researching and tie it all together with the context of the research that I was conducting, so it all made sense, and tie it all together into a tidy little box. So my web research became very relevant, and I was able to do much more thorough deep dive on the internet. So Evernote became my repository for all information. I was able to quickly replace VoodooPad and DevonThink in short order once the web clipper came out.
Fantastic, awesome. So the next one is, how are you using Evernote at the moment?
Yeah, so I use Evernote for my current projects, for my businesses. I teach entrepreneurship and the startup business model at Montclair State University. So I compile all of my resources for those projects and my personal, data, anything that I find interesting that I want to refer to in the future, and I use it to refer to data, whether it be coming from my mind or for those resources and many others, family, and things of that nature. I no longer use it for GTD. What I do is I use it as an assistant to GTD. So I find that for getting things done, you rely on data and information. So I use links to my Evernote resources to my GTD applications. So they're referred to each other, but my GTD applications now reside elsewhere.
Awesome. I do something very similar as well. The third question would be, when you're using Evernote, do you have any top tips for those people who are kind of moving about a lot on their smartphones, maybe on their Google Watches or Android and Apple Watches on the go?
Yeah, so I have a couple. The first would be subscribe to the premium subscription. It's relatively inexpensive. And for one particular feature, which would be offline notebooks, the offline notebooks are invaluable. You can then have your data available to you that you have stored in Evernote in any environment. So when you don't have internet connectivity, which is when you tend to need your data the most, you will always have that most important critical data available to you that you have stored in Evernote. So that would be one. Two, the shortcut bar that you have on Evernote, you have available to you on your mobile device. So if you put your most important files, notebooks, or tags in the top of your shortcut bar on your desktop, that is also going to be that will be at the top most in your mobile application as well. So you can get to that most important data very quickly on your mobile device. And the third thing would be just create a really special tag for your most important information that you need to get to quickly. Call it a plus tag or an AAA tag, something like that. And an example might be your medication list, right? You go to the doctor once or twice a year, and they always ask you what medications are you taking. or where, and you need to recall that information quickly. You kind of get flustered, but you know it's in that AAA tag, and you don't have to figure out what the search is. You just go to that AAA tag, and bang, there's your medication list. The same would be for, let's say, where you parked your car, and you just give it that AAA tag, and you'll be able to find out your car very easily.
Yeah, I do something similar with my student card. Say I leave it at home sometimes, but you have to write it down for certain exams, and you've got it there, and you can quickly add it. So yeah, that tag system is very useful. The next question is, what advice would you give to students looking to improve their productivity, and have just kind of heard of Evernote, maybe just in our chat, or even just on Twitter or somewhere else today?
Yeah, sure. So I'd create a notebook for whatever school you're in, and then I'd create a series of notes for each class, and a tag would be associated for each class. And then I know it might sound a little odd, but why one notebook for each class? Well, you can simplify and organize your notes with some great naming conventions. So if you name each note very systematically with each class, so say it's because I teach entrepreneurship, I'll use that. Let's call it Entrepreneurship 201 Mindset, Entrepreneurship Mindset dash 201, and then you start every note that exact same way every single time. You'll be able to sort your notes just that way, and all of them will line up. And then thereafter, you give it a date, and maybe then a subtopic thereafter. So then you can sort your entire notebook. All your notes will line up very systematically thereafter, and you can get deeper with more tags and adding different departments and different schools that you went to, majors or minors, and courses that you took within the tagging system, and very strong, strict standard titles within those notes. But you can put basically all of your coursework. You take all your class notes, you put your syllabus and things of that nature, all within one notebook for the entire course load that you take at a university or even a high school, and have it all preserved in one tidy, beautiful place.
Awesome. Yeah, there's some fantastic tips. The final question would be, what tools within Evernote do you use the most? Like for me, I use every now and then I kind of break certain things down into tables. Do you think any other tools would be useful for students, or which ones do you use the most in your day?
Yeah, so for me, the favorites are note links. It's an invaluable tool. So if you right-click on a note, you'll see that copy note link is available. And there's two types of note links. It's the standard note link, which will work within the note system, and there's web. There's it'll take you out to the browser, so that it'll work within the web Evernote interface. But if you hold the control button down, I believe it is Control or Command on a Mac and similar keys on a Windows, it'll do a classic note link, so that it will copy the inter Evernote web. The Enter Evernote note link, which will keep you within the desktop environment, and you won't be forced out to the web version. And that's the one I prefer, so that if you operate on the desktop environment primarily, you will be able to navigate from note to note, just as if you were in a wiki environment, or if you were just operating, let's say, on in the internet, if you will, moving from web page to web page, but you're moving within your Evernote environment. And then just my second favorite feature would be to create a table of contents of notes. So going back to, for a student example, and they took a course, and it was the entrepreneurship course, and they had, I don't know, 60 notes from the entire class from the semester. You highlight all the notes from the semester, and there'll be an option to create a table of contents. And you literally just click one button. Once all those notes are highlighted, it'll be right there in front of you, and one note will be created with a link to every single note from the semester with the title of each note.
Yeah. That's so useful for students.
Super powerful.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, you've covered all the questions for me, and I'm sure my viewers will be very, that's a really insightful stuff to take away and start using today. So, Jason, just before I leave, do you have any Twitter accounts or websites that, because I know you have a website that like showcases all your Evernote content and your lessons on there, but do you have anything to share?
Yeah, sure. So my website is jasonfrasca.com, JASONFRASCA.com. You can follow me on Twitter at JAYMF, and I'm on Google Plus as well at /Jason Frasca as well. So those are the three places I hang out, and feel free to follow me, reach out. If I can be of help on Evernote, just ping me.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Jason. And for anyone that would like to see any other videos, see the videos tab above the screen. Thank you for listening, and thank you very much, Jason, and talk soon. Thank you.